All right, is that good?
Yep.
Hope it works. If it doesn't, then that's next week's problem. All right, so let's go over some fundamentals. And yes, this video will be posted, and it'll be like, oh wow, this is great. So, anyways, we have no variables. We have an empty workspace. We have an empty work table. I just told everyone if you do CLC, clears the command window, right? And if I wanted to create a variable, right, I have to create the variable. So if I wanted to do A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, right? A, now I can start calling its name, right? Do you guys like how it's outputting that number right there? Let me try something else. If you do A semicolon, right? What just happened, right? B semicolon, right? It's suppressing the output. So when you use the semicolon, it suppresses the output of whatever your function you have. So if I do it again, A, it calls its name, B, it calls its name, A plus B, the answer is 3. So let's say if I do A plus B and the semicolon, it doesn't say anything. But if you type the answer, let's just do C is equal to A.
Semicolon feel like writing like notes on programming?
Yeah, it's supposed to, formally for C or your programming classes, you have a semicolon, sorry, mix of words.
Next to your...
Yeah, it's formally supposed to always be there, but in Python and in MATLAB, we have that beauty of we don't have to have it, but for MATLAB, it's good for suppressing your output. So
what I'm saying is like, let's say I was writing like a regular C program, you know, like with the double slashes, so you put your notes on there.
Yeah.
B is the same thing. Like,
yeah, I'll definitely show you. We'll get to there. So right there, C. There. What's the value of C? Oh, I want to know the value of C. 3, right? Does that make sense? And then let me see if I can just do another thing. D is equal to A times C, or actually B times C, semicolon, right? What's the answer to that? If I type in D, right, it gives me 6, right? But if I type in ands, why is it 3? So when you start doing things on the command line that don't have like a variable assignment, like let's just say 1, 2, 3 plus 4, 5, 6, or something like that. I'm just picking a number, right? If there's no variable, like this is memory. It doesn't know where to place this like cell. So it's gonna just default to the answer cell. So does that make sense?
So answer is just like a variable.
It's like a temporary variable. So it's just there, and then you can clear it by, well, just putting in another thing, 1 plus 1, and now answer is, it changed. Does that make
this semicolon. So it still executes that.
The semicolon is just there to suppress.
It won't show a result.
It'll just make the line just not say anything. It will still execute, but it's not needed. It's optional. But I'm not trying to say oh, just not to include it. It's a waste of time. Definitely include it. It keeps your code really clean when we start doing actual like publishing. Because if you don't include the semicolon, then stuff publishes, and when you don't want it to publish, then your paper just looks like a mess. So anyways, does that make sense?
If you wanted answer to be D, would you put
Answer is equal to D? Well, oh, I know you're trying to say, can we save to the actual answer itself? Well, let's try. I guess I can, yeah. That's pretty cool. Answer is equal to, I don't know, 1,000, right? You see how it changed right there? Does that make sense? Now let me try to do this. If I just type in 1, we should see this number here change. Yeah, it changed. So yeah, answer can be written to, and it will also be, you can write to the answer. I don't know why you would do that, and you can just rewrite it by just typing in something into the command prompt. Is that good? All right, anyways.
the other variables?
What's up?
Could you also change the other variables that are workspace?
So A, right, it was equal to 1, right? Well, let's just say A is equal to minus 1, right? It's fairly simple stuff, right? All right, now let's get to our next problem. So let's clear variables. Yeah, that's another way. So there's clear vars and then clear variables, 2 ways. And then, oh yeah, let me show you this. If you press the up button, up arrow key, start seeing other things happen. So now you can start going back to your other things. Just simple coding, so not that tough. Now let's get to the point why this is matrix laboratories. So let's just call our A equal to 1, 2, 3, right? And we use these brackets to create a vector, right? Does that make sense? If I were to double click on my workspace, there you go, right? Now, what if I want to just do it like this? Just have it a column. Well, that's easy. If I were to do this, let's go up to my history and do B is equal to 1. This is where the semicolon also becomes a little important. You can also create, I wonder if you can do this, I forget. There you go. Semicolon can be used to create a column. Does that make sense? It's like a new line or paragraph key or something like that. So now, what if I do A plus B? Crazy stuff, right? That makes sense? Actually, let's see what happened, because I wonder why it did that. It shouldn't have done that. Let me see. A plus B gives you an answer. Why did that happen?
Because you're like, right, it's what, a 1 by 3 can be multiplied by, like, the last.
Oh wait, yeah, it's a 1 by 3 plus a 3 by 1.
They match, right? So last two match. The last one, the first one.
Wait a second. Okay, A is a 1 by 3 plus B, which is a 3 by 1.
Because you can only do it if they're. Let's say if you do it the opposite way.
B plus A. No, that's stumping me right now. I don't like that. Let's get to the thing that I was trying to say, because you know how A is a matrix, it's a 1 by 3 matrix, right? Actually, let me see if I can do this. So there's a function that I'll teach you, everyone. So it's called size, and size helps you figure out what the size of your matrix is. Oh yeah, and plus that window pops up too. So I'm gonna figure out this size of A. So the first one, actually, let me show you what this is. Here's the most helpful function in the world, help. And when you type in help and your function, and we'll get to a bunch of functions, there's a lot of functions to learn in MATLAB, and this documentation comes into play. Where X is a matrix, which is m by n, and then it returns an m by n, well, the matrix itself. So actually, here's a better thing. If I wanted to store this, okay, let's CLC to clear that. So remember how I did size A, right? That's that, right? But there's another way to store this. I'm going to call this row A, call A, right? Size of A. That's the rows of A, how many rows it has and how many columns it has. See how what I'm doing right there is, so what I just did right here is I have a function that's outputting numbers, and I just captured those numbers in this another matrix, or not matrix, but let me show you. Help size. If you type this in, then you can store or capture these variables. Does that make sense? Right? Okay, I think I'm losing somebody. CLC, size A, right? Let's just say my size of A, right? Size of A. Now we have a variable itself, a vector that was just created. Does that make sense? So there's two ways of doing it. You could either do it like this to extract, like to just get that value itself, or store it all as a matrix itself. Does that make sense? All right, so let's try to go over your assignment because I'd rather see what is there. Okay. So yeah, semicolons can be suppressed by the semicolon, or The semicolon can suppress your code. And then this is how you generate a square. You want to see that? If you just type in capital A, I guess that's what he wants to do, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? If you press enter, you get your square. Is that cool? Just, we're following the assignment. This is how we're going through. And then, oh yeah, you can do another thing. Let me see. Do I want to try that? Yeah, let's try this. X is equal to, I'm going to put 1 right there. And then we're going to put 2i. And then I guess let's just do 2 plus 2i. I don't like that. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. It did work. So if I were to expand this, let me call that again. There we go. So if your window is small, like the way it was like this, it will generate like a type of what do you call it, text that says, oh, this is what's in column 1, column 2, column 3, etc. Does that make sense? But when I made it bigger, it actually put it out right there. And if you don't believe me, if you double click on X, your variable, there it is. That's 1, and then that's your imaginary 2i complex numbers. So now you can start doing complex analysis. Does that make sense? Alrighty, so let's do the next thing. You can also transpose your vectors. So let's just do this. Here's X again, right? CLC. If I were to store this vector, right? Let's just call it, I don't know, X transposed, right? And that's going to equal to X, and it's going to be period and this little, I think it's a quote, an apostrophe, just apostrophe, right? And this function just brings it all like this, and I'll show you. So if you double click this, you get this right here. And if I double click on that, now you get, it just flips. It just goes from here to there, right? Does that make sense? I think hopefully the camera's recording me. Oh, I don't think it's recording me at all. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. All right. So now you can see everything. So instead, transposing goes from this to this. So what happens if I forget the apostrophe, not the apostrophe, the period? So let's just do X complex is equal to X, the apostrophe, right? I forget the period, okay? Watch the negative signs. You did a complex transposition. So you know how when you, in linear algebra, there's a way where you can transpose it that all the complex numbers like go negative. Remember that? Right?
Complex conjugate?
Complex conjugate, yes. I think that's what it is, right?
You have to divide the bottom.
Or, no, I think that's for poles and other pairs. But when you flip a matrix, you get the negative signs if you transpose it without. So let me just go that over again. Okay. So let's see. MATLAB performs a transpose. If you use this symbol right here, the period apostrophe, you get a transpose. And then if you forget the period, you get a complex conjugate transposition. So does that make sense?
Yeah, pretty much it gets your denominator, or you get the complex number out of your denominator.
I guess so, yes. So here we have two examples. You have the period right here, and you get your number. So it doesn't manipulate numbers, it just transposes it. So all your numbers are there. But if you forget that period, then you're going to have a bad time on the negative numbers. Note that the real number didn't change its sign. It's just a negative. It's a complex conjugate. Does that make sense? Good? Anyways, and then let's see. The built-in functions flip up and flip left, right. So if you were to generate stuff like that, let me show you what he's talking about. If our matrix A, right? Remember matrix A? That makes sense? Yes?
So it seems, just really quick, it's off topic, but it seems like Unity gives you a free MATLAB license if you just type in your email into the thing.
Okay.
They have a guide on how to get it. But when it lets you select products, I was just wondering if we need, it has like 100
Oh,
products here.
I know what you're
Like
talking
MATLAB
about.
coder, compiler,
All right.
report generator, tests.
Let's talk about shopping. All right. Who's ready to buy some expensive stuff? I'm playing. Let me see. What? No, see, this is what happens. I can't buy anything because I didn't renew my MATLAB. So let me see. I don't want to buy a renewal. No, you can eat my money. Go ahead. Anyways, I wish I can tell you about these packages. Manage add-ons. I'll show you what add-ons I have. I wonder what I do have. Yeah, I have a couple ones that I bought personally. There's an antenna toolbox where you can do some antenna analysis, open documentation, puts you up to how to use the antennas toolbox. This is where MATLAB goes crazy, and you can do some crazy analysis, and it gets to become a really fun class. And then let's see, what other add-ons do I have? Where's my add-on manager? The DSP system toolbox, that's another good one. This is a phased array system, so if you are designing phased array antennas, you can start analyzing like their, what do you call it, beam patterns. So other little stuff. And then, yeah, the signal processing toolbox.
So that's what we're gonna need, right?
Yeah, I think this is definitely the major one that you'll be needing. If I were to click on documentation, let's see what it does. Wonder what it has. Analyze signals, find peaks in data, classify signals.
I think for this one, it's already installed because I looked at the manage and I have a bunch of them.
Okay, not that bad. And then you see there's many possibilities you can do with MATLAB. You can extract voices. So if you wanted to do an AI project, AI voice project, or process signals with missing samples. Oh, you're trying to fill in samples, interpolation. Find and track ridges. Ooh, that's cool. Label signal attributes. Automate signal labeling. Whoa, so it can just label your signals, like create another thing. Oh, here's the peaks, here's the other thing. So that's a toolbox, but when you do purchase your copy of MATLAB, there's a lot of toolboxes, and I think when you purchase it, be careful. The first time you buy it, it'll tempt you with a beautiful discount, and that's the only time you get the discounts. Don't buy everything. Just buy what you think you'll need. But I'll tell you this: it's perpetual. I think from when I bought it as a student. So whatever you have, you keep that version. If you want the new one, you just gotta pay the maintenance fee. So is that good?
Real quick on the antenna one. That used for class 438.
438, I don't think so. I used that for my personal, back when I was doing radar engineering and back in my old jobs, but it's a good class. I think I used it for our antenna theory class. That was taught by Dr. Schill, so that was a really useful toolbox to use. So he didn't necessarily require it, but it helped. So that's where, as the engineer, if you know how to use MATLAB, the tools at your disposal, you can start doing some pretty good calculations. And the best thing is presentations, where your reports, if you can do something great in MATLAB, get the A in the class. Well, not my class, just another professor's class. Yes?
But as for the scope of this class, we would just need MATLAB and then
Signal processing.
the signal processing one?
Yep, that's it. And then
No Simulink?
no, personally, you can do everything in MATLAB. I know Simulink tries to like simulate things, and that'd be cool. We can definitely get it if you want it. We can definitely try, but I personally prefer everything to be in MATLAB because I know I did I worked hard to make sure everything can be translated in MATLAB. So, is there any other questions before I try to do more things? So let me show you flip. I don't know what flip it is, so I'm going to press the tab button. Ah, see? Flip, LR, flip up, down. Let's do flip LR. What's it asking for? Oh, flip LR. It just asked for a variable, A. Look what it did. It flipped it left, right? What does flip do? Flip A. Oh, okay, so help flip. Flip the order of the elements. Cool. Okay, you see how help starts helping you, and it goes from a coding class to like a calculator. It's a helpful tool for your math classes, other classes. Does that make sense? All right. Anyways, let's see. That's that. You can concatenate these dimensions. So I think I know what they're trying to do. I'll show you this, but All right, I'm going to show you something cool. So there's two functions that you guys will be using a lot in your classes. Well, personally in this class. That's the zeros function. And the zeros function, I'll show you, help zeros. Creates an n by n, you can create an m by n matrix of zeros. So if you want to see what I was trying to do, if you do zeros 2, for example, you create a 2 by 2, or zeros 1, 2, right? Or if I do zeros 3, 10, I don't know, just creating some numbers. Make sense? Cool. And then there's the ones function. And what do you guys think it's going to do if I do 1's 5? Gives you 1's, right? Make sense? This right here is like the gist of MATLAB. So you'll be using this a lot to generate your, when we specifically get to the unit step functions. Does anyone know what a unit step is? Or a heavy side function, or so.
We used it in Laplace transform.
Yeah, so.
Like if the switch is on 0 versus 1, that's an example.
Yeah, let me see. I wish I can just record something. I wonder if it'll let me record this. Nah, it's not gonna let me. Let me show you what a unit step function is. Function. Without drawing it, there you go. That right there is your unit step function. Basically, a unit step function is everything before 0, it's, 0. And then everything after time 0, at 0, it's 1, and then it's 1 forever. So does that make sense? Is that good? All right, perfect. And then there's another function you guys need to know. There's the, let me show you actually, heavy side function. No, that's unit step. Forget what the digital version was called. So let me show you this delta function. You like this PowerPoint? I don't like that one. There we go. Is it? He talked to you about delta functions at all yet? Not yet?
Not yet.
So the delta function is a function where only at 0 it's 1, and then it's 0 everywhere else. Does that make sense? Actually, officially, this is called the Kronecker delta. So here's the best figure I can tell you. It's 1 at 0 and 0 for every other interval. Does that make sense? Perfect. So let's go over more of your assignment. Oh yeah, let me go over this concatenation. If I were to do this, I'm gonna call this one O, and that's gonna be 1's 3, right? And then I'm gonna call another variable Z is equal to 0's 3, right? Everyone seeing what I'm trying to do? If I do, I don't know, OZ is equal to, let me see. Wonder if it's gonna, if I do this, O and Z. Wonder if that's going to let me do what I want it to do. No.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to bring these two together. Oh, no. I know what it's trying to do. Okay. If I put a space, there you go. Wait. So these are two individual matrices, and I'm trying to combine them. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So now I have a matrix Oz. There you go, right? O, Z, and I just added that. If I wanted to transpose that, I always do this. Does that make sense? Pretty cool, right? And now let's just say I wanted to do, I'm going to teach you guys another function. If I do, let me show you this function. This function right here that I'm going to be teaching everyone is going to be how you generate signals. So to generate signals in this class, or time signals, you can generate that by doing 0 to 10, right? You use this colon function, right? And this will produce that. Actually, let me make it a little better. Is that nice? So then one thing I can try to do is, let's double click on this, N, right? And you see how it's in box 1, 0, 2, right? So let's just say I want the number 4, right? If I type in N4, what's going to happen? Yeah.
That's what it means +1, right?
Yeah, so this is where Python and MATLAB go crazy, because, or actually even C++, because we're based on 1, and other coding languages are based on like array index 0. So that's the other thing we got to know. So if I do N0, right, what's going to happen? It doesn't exist, because it's a positive array. So that's what it has to happen. So if I wanted to do N, I want the third number, or I want number 4, right? But I need to know that I had to +1, right? And I'll get 4, right? So something that a lot of people would do would be like, okay, I don't know, comp is equal to 1, right? I'm just creating a variable compensation. If I do N, I want the number 2 plus comp. Does that make sense? And now I want number 9, right? Makes your life a little easier. Makes it feel like you have control. And that's something we like to have. Control over our control and not the code controlling you. Feel good? All right, anyway, so what I was trying to get there, let me see if that's in the curriculum too. DH generates.
We discussed it in class.
Oh.
We discussed it in class.
Okay, perfect. And then let me see, you can do matrix operations. Does that make sense? Does everyone get this? All right, I can skip through this, right? All right, who's the best part? Ready for us to do your homework? All right, perfect. So let's see, I wonder if this was done. Okay, this is where the semicolon function comes into play. But let me see what your first assignment is supposed to be. Generate the following signals by typing an explicit list of elements. Okay, I know what's happening. So what does it mean by explicit? Just type it. That's what I would assume. Let me see. Using the signals that you created in exercise 1. Okay, not that hard. Using the elementary signals that you created in the number 1, generate the following new signals. Use the stem function. All right, so let's see. He doesn't want a computer-generated thing, so let's generate this, right? The unit impulse, that's what it's called. Let's do your homework. Hello? Hello? Come on. There we go. So one thing we're going to start is to create scripts. This is what we're going to try and do. You can create a new script by pressing on the new script button. And this is where you can start doing your actual little program and keep everything all neat and tidy. So this is how I'm going to start going into more advanced techniques right here, right now. Actually, no, let's go basic. I'm not going to go crazy right now. Delta, or I guess let's call it the delta function. Do I want to call it delta? Unit impulse. Yeah, let's call it unit impulse. D, or impulse. Yeah, let's call it unit impulse. So we want to generate, let's see, this signal. Is everyone familiar with when I said a delta function, how that worked? Does everyone know what it does? Right? Remember, it goes at time is equal to 0 or n is equal to 0. It's 1, right? You guys know that. You're confident, right? Perfect. Now this is where MATLAB starts making you like confuse your everything, and this is where I lose a lot of the students. So to generate this, and we want to go from -5 to 5, right? So it would be easy to just do 1, right? No, you don't. It doesn't mean anything. But let me just do this. If I were to type in n, right? If we do -5, -4. See how painful this is? I think this is what he wants for your first assignment.
You read that out, or did you want to put the?
I think that's what he wants, explicit. Yeah, generate the following signals by typing an explicit list of elements. So I think he wants you to know that this is painful. Yeah, and actually, and this is actually the point of MATLAB. MATLAB's here to make your life easier. So right now we're going to do it the hard way. If you were to do hand calcs, for an example. So you see this right here, right? And let me show you another thing before. To comment, use the percent sign. That's how you comment. And then, okay, let's go into advanced stuff. If you double comment, let's do, I don't know, EE360D homework 1. And then I can do this by David. And then double. There we go. The first double percent sign is like your fat title for your cover page. I'll show you in a bit. This one right here is just a line, like a subtitle. And then this right here is section 1, explicit signals. I'm calling it that. Does that make sense? And then I can comment here being like my time, right? Does that make sense? So if there's a shortcut. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's press run. And now I'm gonna do some, let's see, UNLV, new folder, EE360. And let's call this fall 25. And let's call this one EE360D computer. Actually, wait a second. Oh, wait, no. So here's one thing I got to tell you about MATLAB. MATLAB does not like spaces. It only likes, what do you call it? You can have underscores, but you can't have spaces. So if I were to do like comp assignment, then it will save it, but when you try to run it again, it doesn't like it. That's just MATLAB just arguing. So anyways, I'm going to call this comp, or actually homework 1 Santiago. Does that make sense? Cool. And then change folder. You can add to path, but I prefer you change your folder. And then let me show you this if anybody was watching. So here is where my work folder was, and if I wanted to run this, I can change folder. Bam, where's that folder? Users and work, you know, that's mine. And then this is your editor. Does that make sense? Cool. So yeah, change folder. That's a helpful thing. Keeps everything clean. Preferably keep everything in a nice folder. Does that make sense? All right. So now let me show you the. Okay. Let's type this out. I'm gonna do this very basic. So the reason why I deleted that was I want to explicitly type it. You know that 0 belongs there, right? Yes? You know 0 belongs there, right? 0, 0, 0, 1. That make sense? What happens after that? Does that look like the delta function? Right? Okay, you guys ready? Let's do figure 1, right? And I'm going to use the stem function. It's asking for the x coordinates and then the y coordinates. So I'm going to type in n, that's our x, d, that's our delta. And then you can either run it again, or you can go here and let me see. It doesn't tell me. There's a function I like. Let me see if it still works. Control, enter. There we go. Does that look like your Kronecker delta? Yeah?
You can see it though.
Does that look great?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
That's it. You see that 0? You see that 1? All right, let's get into more advanced stuff. Or not advanced stuff, but things to make your things a little, let's do filled. Let's see what filled does. Fills are little bubbles. Does that make sense? I'm going to do line width. And let's do this as, I don't know, 2. Making it thick. You like that? 4 makes it thicker. Cool. And then I think another thing I can show you is R. Let's see if that changes it red. No, it doesn't. How do I make them red? R. Yeah, red. Like that?
We have to be in a particular order depending on what instruction you want to.
Yeah, let me see. Help stem. And then if you click here, even though there's documentation, you can click on this and it gives you the full website. And then it tells you what you can do. Oh, okay. You can do a lot of things with stem. Let me see if it tells you colors. Here are your colors. Let's see. You can type in R, G, B, C, M, Y, K, W. Right? Cool? Anyways. Congratulations, we did problem 1. There you go. But now we got to make this prettier so that Dr. Stubert's happy, the grader's happy, I'm happy. So we're going to give it a title. The unit step function. And then I wonder if it's going to let me do a subtitle. D of n. Let's run that. Oh, nice.
It should be delta function though, correct?
Yeah, delta. Does that make sense? Look good? And then let me see. There's got to be another function. Let me go to... oh yeah, X label. Call this one N. Right? Y label is equal to Y. Yeah. See how now we're starting to make things look a little better, right? Does that look good? And then I wonder if there's a way to change X. All right, here's the best part of MATLAB. There's always a way to look up some stuff. MATLAB, make label font larger. And then there's all this stuff you can find. There you go. So if you copy this stuff right here, Now, yeah, this, yeah, I guess this is a variable. It's storing the current figure. GCA stands for help GCA. Yeah, the current axis or the chart. So we're the current figure. We're getting the information and then we're changing the font size. If I were to do the following, look at that. Does that look cool? Does that look like a Chronicle Delta?
Do we need a store?
Huh?
Do we need a store? Do we need that previous line, or can we just change the font size without storing it in here?
Because I'm trying to figure that out. I wonder if there's another way to do it.
GCA.font size or whatever.
Wonder if you're right. GCA dot. Let's see. Oh, great. Wait, no, it didn't do what I want. Nope. Screw this thing.
Maybe you can change it.
No. That would have been cool. But yeah, that's your current. Let's see what AX can generate. What other stuff can I do? See how complicated your homework can get? Font name times. Let me see if I can do this. Times U Roman. No, it doesn't want to do that one. Nah, screw this. Anyways, we're wasting time on that one. So, does everyone get what we're doing right there?
What was the command to turn the sequence of numbers into a graph?
So yes, sequence of numbers into
Yeah, like you had the sequence of numbers that popped up into the delta function. What did you do to get the graph to pop up?
the graph to pop up.
Yeah.
So figure generates, actually, let's do this. I'm gonna do double percent sign to separate the functions or sections. If I ran this only, let me get rid of figure one. Where's figure one? If I ran the figure, that's it. So if I do figure, enter, it just makes another figure. Figure 100, right? Actually, better yet, figure my fig. Let's see. Wonder what I can do with it. There's a way to do name. Ooh. There's a way to name your figure so you can change the actual name of it. But does that make sense? And then the stem function itself is the thing that actually does, it paints into the figure. Does that make sense? Good? And then title, subtitle, X label, Y labels, right? All right. Now let's do section 2, I guess. I want to crunch this in. So you know how the unit step works. This one here works. Want me to generate this one? Looks tough. Looks hard. Yeah. So the ramp function. A ramp with a slope of 2 explicitly. How would I even do this? Because the easy way, this is where MATLAB becomes a fun thing to do. Oh, I know what he's trying to do. Because you have your time, which is n. And then 2n2. I'm going to teach everyone this. This is a really important thing. The period and the star right here, multiplication. This right here does elementary multiplication. And let me see what it does. Rn. Yeah. But now I need to make sure I can put this into figure 2. Stem. N. R. Does that look good? Let me see. A ramp with a slope of 2. If I were to do it explicitly, the hard way is doing this, and I don't want that happening. minus 10, minus 8. This is dumb. You see how painful this is?
Now, though, quick question for like, we're still in, we're in part 2, right?
I'm just doing some examples right now.
We would only have to do like for this one, -5 through 5. So it'd be like -4, -2, 0, 1.
You see that right there? That's explicitly. That's tough. That was rough. So X, you would explicitly. There it is. It's right there. That makes sense. Append the signals so that the resulting signal is a periodic signal. X and Y. Using the stem function. I wonder if you can do this. All right, let's see if this works, y'all. We in chat? Okay. Pending stuff. X is equal to. Oh yeah, baby, let's go. Less work for me. Y is equal to. You see how MATLAB's you're like, you can try to like do little cool stuff. Let's see, there it is. Boom. And then let's generate these signals, right? Okay. So I want to show figure 3 stem nx title my x function and then I hope no one barks at actually yeah x-axis x label is n y label is y. And then here's the beauty of it. You can copy paste. You see that?
Would it not be X?
Y. Oh, yeah. Value. Does that make you happy? My Y function. Now let's run it. Look at that. Cool, right? And now he wants you to append this stuff. So remember how we appended stuff? Remember that one example I went over? Is anyone paying attention here? Remember? Remember how we did that? So, how do I append it? Appended X and Y. What do I do? Is this hard? 5. And then here's another cool trick. Sometimes in the newer versions of MATLAB, it autofills it. So if you press tab, ooh, it's great, right? And then my periodic function. Oh, I know why it didn't do that. This is going to be, how big is X? 11, right? And Y is 11, right? So if you wanted me to, and I can't do this. This is where functions come to play. N is equal to 0 to 22, because that's, no, 21, sorry. And let's see if that works now. N appended. There we go. There we go. Started barking at me. This is not right though, because it should be periodic. So what if we flip this? YX. The heck? Who made this? Yes, yes?
You don't want me to repeat it, like use red math.
Oh,
Like using red math and then you just periodically repeat it.
is that what it is?
Because you want to repeat it, you can use this function. Here, you can use like 4 times to generate like 4
Oh.
times here.
guess. We'll see how the grader likes.
That's not when you say like student.
Dr. Stuber gave you that?
No.
Okay. Append the signal so that the resulting signal is a periodic signal. I think what they're...
That's the original one that's been talking to like for years.
Oh, I know what's going on. If you do dot divide by 2, I think this should work. No, not dot divide by 2. What if I do dot divide by -2? Now I'm starting to manipulate it. There you go. We found it. Hooray. Is that periodic? Goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. I gave you guys your answer. Is that good? You guys like this? Is that hard?
Can you explain what happened?
Yeah,
So
it's show in the frame, right?
let me show you what's going on, and this is where signal manipulation needs to happen, where I'm giving you the engineer. Let me just append this. You, the engineer. I said, here's your X function. I gave you parts, all right? Here's your X function, right? Here's your Y function. Make them periodic, all right? So you would append it, right? And we appended it first, right? Like this. And that looked funny. This is X and this is Y, right? That doesn't look periodic, right? So we manipulated, knowing what that X and Y was. We can also do this. -2 dot times. Does that look periodic?
Yes.
This is the power of MATLAB. And MATLAB can become, and you can see you can perform these operations within your function. So if I wanted to, times 10 or something like, actually, oh yeah, you can also do this, times, or 10 dot times, watch this. Look at that. You can also manipulate the matrix or vector itself. Does that make sense? Is that cool? Any other questions?
How do you run a separate figure?
Separate figure with the figure function?
Yeah.
That's it. The figure function. So if you were to do this, figure, I don't know, 44. That's it. Right? Make sense?
But if you wanted to go up and like let's say run 3, would you just scroll up and
3. Figure 3.
Yeah.
Oh, you run this again.
So like how you did it, like you
Like this.
you ran 3 and 4 like separately, and then before you ran.
Oh, so I think I know what you're talking about. So this is where the double percent signs come to play. It creates a section. Everything I do here, if I do Control Enter, that's the shortcut, it only runs that section. If I want to run the whole assignment, I press Run.
Okay.
And boom, it does everything for
And
you.
all the figures will show up.
And everything just pops up.
So the control just runs whatever section
Yeah.
you like hovered over.
Yeah, the percent sign, the double percent sign that I'm doing right here, it makes everything look fun. And then look how messy this stuff gets too. You see how right here you start seeing stuff pop up that you don't want popping up, like this right here, right? I don't like that. Suppress them, please. Unless you're trying to show a demonstration. Looks cleaner, right? Is that good? Last thing before we all leave. Publish. You can press this publish thing. Let's go here. Publish this.
This is what we submit, how we submit it. We submit the published part.
Yep. And now let's see what happens. It's taking its time. It's doing its thing. It takes a while. And then I don't like that. Go to publish again. Edit publishing options. Please save it as a PDF. Go here, PDF. And yeah, publish. Now let it do its thing again.
So it kind of runs everything one more time.
It runs it all in a big code, so make sure you don't have mistakes, and make sure you clear your variables, because other homework assignments, if you don't clear your variables, could leak into your assignment. So always start Error in publish.
Um,
Ah. Why did that not work? Anyways, usually it should work, but let me show you what this was right here. Where'd it go? HTML. Whoa. Look at that. Publish stuff, look at that. It publishes all into an HTML. But I want everyone to print this out as a PDF to make it easy on the grader. And then, oh yeah, if you wanted to add text, you can do the following, %. And then this is the command to make it text. Hello, actually, % close, there we go. Hello world. I think that should print, I think. Publish. Why is that not working? I don't like that. This PDF needs to work. Publish. Change is not found in the current folder. I think I know what it did. Wait a second. Save as. What? This is the headaches of MATLAB. Publish. Yeah, change folder, whatever. That's a bug in my book. I don't know why that's happening. But does that make sense right there? Does that look good? And then what I was trying to show everyone was when you use the publish function and you see how this right here is orange because of this part right here. And then this comment right here was whatever I put there. Content section 1, section 2, appending stuff. You see that? And I don't think it put my hello world in there. Where's my hello world? Didn't type it. No. Whatever. So, any other questions?
These get printed out and turned in my hand, or they get submitted?
Print them out. Well, you should be able to print these out, have your figures done, and it's an online submission. Yes, it's all online submission. So PDF. I don't know if there's hand calcs. If there's hand calcs, do submit them as long with your assignment as well, so that you know what's going on. Yes.
Is there an assignment on Canvas, or do we email it?
I will be publishing this on the Canvas.
Okay.
So yes.
So is it like due next Wednesday or something?
Did we make it due next Wednesday?
I think you can do that next Wednesday.
They didn't do the other test, right?
When's the exam?
Yeah.
September 10?
2 weeks on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's due this day right there, right?
Oh, it's too bad.
Wait. The 10th? When's your exam? The 10th. Okay. Because I want to have these assignments correlated with your exams. So I would ideally have them due, well, usually we have them due the day of the exam, so early morning or the day before. That's what I would say. You shouldn't be too difficult. Yes?
Do you know about the due date on the written homework as well?
The written homework, I think that should all be due in the lecture itself on the exam date as well. I would have to talk to Dr. Stuber about that. So what do you think about having this due Tuesday, September 9th, midnight? 11:59. So PM, PM. So no submissions on the midnight. Is that good? Or does everyone want it like, okay, when's the class begin? 10 in the morning? 11:30 in the morning, sorry. Let's make it due midnight. Is that simple? All right, September 9th. All right, have a good day, y'all.